You know, it's funny. Every time I think I can hang up the camera, move on to just streaming my content, a movie like this comes along and just has to pull me right back in. All right, let's talk about Hereditary. Now, here at the Boneyard, you know how we do things: the good, the bad, the bare bones. And I give my final recommendation. So, let's start with the good. And the good here is a little bit hard to pull out because it's like fucking pulling teeth. Yeah, there are some good parts to this movie. Yeah, there are some really cool stuff to be talked about. But for the most part, you have to dig a little. And by dig a little, I mean you have to grind through some of this. But we're going to get to that in a minute. Let's not jump ahead of ourselves. So let's talk about the good. The visuals are really strong, really good visuals, high contrast movie. And it places some colors where, it highlights the scene. So it's really fun to watch whoever this director is. I didn't quite catch his name. Um, Ari Aster, who also wrote the movie. Aster? Not sure. But it's really cool to see the visuals they put in and the way that they can use colors to color a scene. And that's awesome. And it's really cool. It's a hard thing to do, especially with modern horror. It's a hard thing to do. But they pulled it off. A strong cast is the second good thing about this. Yeah, the movie begins a little rough with the cast, but honestly, it picks up and in the end ends up actually wowing you with a couple of the performances. It wowed me, but I really appreciated them. I really appreciated the because it not at no point in this movie does it ever seem like anybody's just fucking with it. Like everybody's just like putting like no effort into it. Like every scene in this movie, no matter how mundane, it looks like all these actors put forth 110%, and I appreciate that. And I look at that, and I can validate that they did because it shows through. The last good point is the gore. Ooh. Now here I can't give out the spoiler because it's part of the whole storyline. But I will say, when there is gore on the screen, they don't fuck around with it. It's there. It's apparent. It is not, except for one scene, which was really, really disappointing. It's just out there. It's out there. It's gory. I liked it. Um, I liked even the colors they chose, and I liked even the build up and the reveal to one piece of it, which was kind of cool. I wouldn't say it's my favorite part of the whole thing, but that kind of gore is needed, and it needed more gore. I'm not gonna lie, it needed more gore. They really should have hammered that home. Uh, but anyways, let's get to the bad, and here's where it gets really bad. The whole fucking movie is a grind. And I mean, it is just too fucking long. There's about 45 minutes of this movie you could have cut. And I'm looking at it now, and I'm not quite sure how long it is. 2 hours and 7 minutes. There's about 45 minutes of that. That could have just gone. It could have just 45 minutes would have cut down, given a much more quick story and a quick narrative, and it would have actually cut the story down and actually made it even better. That they were trying to that they pulled this out, and they just let it just drag in some scenes like I am right now. Anyways, um, Dad didn't need to be there. Didn't need to be there at all. In fact, he contributes fucking nothing to the movie except for one scene, and that scene didn't make any sense. You'll know it if you see it. He just didn't need to be there. He like he could have been replaced by fucking anybody. In fact, had they made the mom a single mom, struggling with all this, that would have been actually a more compelling narrative than having this absentee dad who's just there because they want to portray a married family. I don't know if that was the intention, but that's what we got, and this guy is just He could have been replaced with a friendly teacher, a security guard, a cop, a tree, a nice fern. Would have gotten the same exact results. So it's a shame that they wasted such a good actor in such a role. Uh, the camera movement. Oh man. All right, sliding. There's. I want to get into this, but I don't want to make this video too long. Camera movement is important, especially with a slow reveal or a slow burn toward reveal. The way you can set up a camera in scenes, but almost every shot in this fucking movie is just the camera panning or scrolling or rolling to the next part. And at one point in time, I just felt like I was in a wheelie, I was like in an office chair, just being pushed back and forth between scenes because that's honestly how slow it was. Just like wee. That is not a substitution for talent, my friend. That's just fucking. I get it. I get it. In some movies, it looks really cool and it works sometimes really well. But when almost every fucking scene begins and ends with that, it's done. It's just done. So let's talk about the last part, the poor narrative of this movie. I mean that they had a lot of they had a lot to work with, a lot to work with, and they conflated it so much that the narrative that could have been there and should have been there from the beginning, you could have just had this awesome fucking movie, a very tight knit movie with a very solid narrative, just becomes this grind fest of 2 hours, just sitting there, just going, "Oh my fuck, what does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean?" It's an hour and a half in. Oh, I'm sure we'll find out in the last 15 minutes, and of course we fucking do. I don't. Again, I can't mention shit, but I'm every I can't talk about this movie in detail simply because almost everything I say is gonna be a spoiler. Um, ugh. They had a lot of tools that they could have utilized. They had a lot of tools. They had the miniatures. They had the group. They had even the dad himself could have been utilized a different way. They had a lot of things they could have used, and I don't know if they thought they were being clever by avoiding those tropes, but it's only a trope if it's cliche. If you use the trope and make it work, it becomes a better thing. It becomes a piece of story. It becomes a plot point that you can use. Just sitting here, just like, whoa, well, you thought that was gonna be a thing. It ain't. Aren't I fucking clever? No, you're not, dude. Fuck yourself. So let's get to it. The bare bones. The bones are there, and those are cool bones, really cool bones. There's no fucking meat on them. It's all style, no substance. And when it was good, it was good. But when it's bad, it's just as bad. And I wanted to like this movie more than I did because honestly, this has been touted as oh, scariest movie of the year, scariest movie of the year. The same thing with Veronica on Netflix, scariest movie of the year, scariest movie of the year. But I've seen the ending before, and I've seen the ending recently before, so it takes me completely out of it. It just fucks the whole thing for me. And like I said, I wanted to say more good about this movie. This is his first time directing or his first time writing. I'm gonna say A for effort, homie. You put it out there, but I can't in good conscience say, "Oh, scariest movie of the year." Oh God, you guys need to run out and see it. No, if you guys have Movie Pass, have yourself a night. Have a couple of drinks beforehand, or smoke whatever your favorite recreational thing to smoke is, and then go see it. So, do I recommend it? Yes. Wait for the Blu-ray. Don't it and like I've said 3 times already. Unless you have Movie Cash or Movie Pass, don't spend the money on this. Just wait for the Blu-ray to come out. Have a cool little night at home, and that's about it. I wish I could have given this movie higher praise, but being called the scariest movie of the year. You know, it brings me back to YouTube to yell about shit like this. Anyways, folks, if you want me to come back, let me know. I got no reason not to come back. I got new recording software, new lights. That's the same microphone. New camera. Let me know. Stay tuned.